Hello, friends of ours, and welcome into another episode of Trust the Tape. My name is Jeff, and I am hanging out with the greatest drafter in the history of the NFL, Mr. Bryan Broaddus.
Hey, Bri.
Hey, Bri.
Jeffrey, how we doing? Do we have a different screen today? I got like an on-air button here. I got a live to my left. I've got a lot going on here, man.
I'll be honest.
Does it look different?
I don't know.
Does it look different?
I don't know.
Maybe RealStream came up with a new look.
Maybe. I also was trying to figure out how to do a little something that I'm going to have to give them money to do. Because I was trying to get a what's called a lower third graphic to
put some ads up on that. Yeah.
Because it would be like right
here.
Right there for me, at least on my screen. I don't know where I actually am. You could be over here. It would just be this lower third.
Yeah.
Because we are big time now. We've made it. And we have a sponsor.
Oh, wow.
And that would be Underdog Fantasy.
Woohoo.
And you can go there and use the promo code TAPE, T-A-P-E. We got our own promo code. Because this is called Trust the Tape. But
like it.
We're probably going to start the actual read next week because I can't find what the offer is.
Oh.
And I have to pay the thing that I'm using to run this to alter our screen and put the little thing up there.
Yeah, it looks different. The screen looks different. But listen, Underdog, right?
Underdog Fantasy. It's awesome.
Underdog. Go check them out, man. They're good folk.
Use the code TAPE. I think it's like you play your first 25 and you get 200 in bonus. I don't know. And I hope our salespeople don't send this clip to them.
Yeah.
Because
we love them though. Thank you.
We do.
We absolutely love them. We're a little disorganized right now, but we'll get there.
My guy Josh Norris is over there. He's a good draft guy.
Yeah, we're underdogs over here. We're underdogs right now. We're playing from behind right now.
You know, I have a draft underdog that I watched. That's how we can tie it into the show. Your draft underdog of the week. But we'll get to that stuff later. Welcome in, everybody. I'm sorry that I didn't get this show started real clean, but that's kind of what I do. Shout out to everybody that was in this chat before the show even started. We appreciate all of you guys. I did name this thing Dallas Cowboys Perfect Storm of Optimism is Brewing, Brian.
I was late. I'm sorry. I was watching David Bailey from Texas Tech play when you said,
I was watching David Bailey from Texas Tech play right before I sent you the link.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was him and my guy, Mekhi Lemon, where I was watching him this morning, the wide receiver from USC. So, yeah.
I was watching both the Texas Tech kids. I started watching the linebacker last night, and I was like, I should probably be watching the pass rusher too. And so I was actually watching both of them this morning before I sent you this link because Trust the Tape transitions into a draft podcast, if you're not familiar, so that it never has to die, you know?
Never dies.
You always want to be able to.
That's why Underdogs with us. Underdogs with us because they know we're not going to die. Yeah.
That's right. That's how you keep a sponsor, Brian. You over-deliver, even on a day that I don't even think this one's going to count because of the way that I've butchered the whole situation.
They were nice enough to come on board. I'll mention them all day.
They were. Shout out to them. After this game, that schedule gets brutal. That's true. But I do think that it's and it may be short-lived. And obviously this week and the coming weeks and a long time is going to be really tough for a lot of Dallas Cowboys. But in terms of the football itself and the players that they've added and the guys who are now allegedly healthy and the opponent that you're playing and the time you've had to prepare, I don't think there's been a point in this season other than before it started, probably 8 days before it started. Because a week before it started, I lost all my confidence because they traded their best player. But this is the most optimistic you can be for a moment as a Cowboys fan is getting ready to play a bad football team. And people did stop me yesterday when I said this on the DLS Cowboys podcast. And I know you're right. You're also a bad football team. I get it.
You're a bad football team too. Yeah.
But you're playing a bad football team and you are bringing reinforcements to the party. And I don't think that you're going to have a more optimistic moment in the Cowboys season than this. And if they ruin this, I need them to know that I will be very mad at them. No, I won't be mad at them, Brian, because we'll break out the ice tank. There is no bad result on Monday. There is no bad result.
Right.
because we ran the schedule yesterday too. I pulled the schedule for every team in front of the Cowboys in the NFC. And I don't like being the harbinger of bad news.
You've got the hardest one of them all, right?
You got not only that, but just running it out, and we guessed like who do you think is going to win every game, and I didn't tell them what we gave each team to end the season with those records. And what you're going to end up with is the Cowboys have to probably have to go 7-1, probably 6-2, maybe, but with the number of teams in front of you and what their schedules look like. You probably need 7, and that's probably unrealistic. But I'm going to live in today of we are about to see, can we get some optimism for what it looks like with Quennin Williams, what it looks like with Logan Wilson, what it looks like with DeMarvion Overshown, Shavon, Revel. And I am very interested in how many snaps are Overshown and Revel going to get. Is it, hey, you're back? Or is it, come on in and get you a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's come in and get you a little bit is really what it is. I think Revel is different than Overshown. I think what you're going to see potentially, and this is how I think this is going to work out. This is just kind of like how they've done things in the past. I kind of feel like that they're going to start Revel on special teams and see how that works. See if he's comfortable and things like that. And then, last time out against Arizona, you saw Carson get into the game, and he played 20, 30 plays. So it was a pretty decent little run for him. So I think Revel will be that way. I think it's initially going to start with some special team stuff, see how he acclimates to that. And then if they can work him into some of the defensive stuff, I think that's the route they go. Overshown, probably not going to play the special team stuff. He's not going to have that fallback. You're probably going to have to put him in. I have a feeling you're going to see James and Murray and those guys start this thing out and then kind of work their way in with Overshown. I don't think it's going to be coin toss, go play defense, and now you see that number 0 out there playing. I think there is going to be that ramp up period of seeing where he's at and then go from there. Both the players will be available, which is very encouraging, but how you use them, they have a little bit of a history here of how they use their players that way. So I kind of feel like that's what they're going to do.
And I think it may just be my squirrel brain. I feel like for the most part, I would look at a situation like that and be like, of course. It's been so long since they've played actual football, just throwing them in there. But then there's the other side of me that goes, wait a minute. They're cleared and they're ready?
Sure. And you got to win a game. Yeah, and you got to win a game.
And if the player is if the player's tired, tap on out, brother. I got you. Come on for a minute. Come breathe. But that's just, it's the way it goes. You can't really simulate football without footballing.
Yeah, I think that Wilson and Williams are in a different story, though. I think those guys are going to play. That's what these guys have played throughout the season. Actually, Quennin Williams has been off for a couple weeks now, so he should be nice and fresh. But yeah, I kind of feel like that. I'm interested in like what you just said. I'm interested in this in a way that if it doesn't work out, the season doesn't work out where it's 6-2, 7-1. I'm interested to see how these guys are going to play these next 8 games and see where that takes them for potential free agency,
right?
And the draft. If it starts to turn in, well, it's not going to be a playoff. We gave away too many games at the beginning. We weren't good enough on defense. We didn't finish some games that we should have finished. If it turns into that where it's 2 weeks from now and you're trying to evaluate, let's evaluate. But I'm trying then at that point to say, okay, is Wilson really an upgrade for us at linebacker? Quennin Williams, of course, is going to be that type of guy. But now I start to look at, okay, what am I have to do in the draft? I think this is a really, really big offseason for them in free agency. And I mean that of not bottom fishing. I mean going out and trying to grab a veteran linebacker, a veteran corner, a veteran safety. Give yourself some flexibility in the draft to play with those 2 first-round picks in a way that you don't have to force yourself. Well, damn, Broaddus, take all defensive players. Haven't you been watching all year? No, give yourself flexibility to potentially, because if you don't sign Pickens, you might
Don't
need
say
to
that.
go. Well,
Don't
I'm
do
just
that.
saying.
Don't do that. Don't do
Just
that.
saying.
Don't do that.
You don't tag him. Do you go look at Jordan Tyson from Arizona State, who's a very similar type of player in this draft? You go look at that kind of guy. So to me, if it turns into, you go out and you spit the bit and lose to the Raiders, now it turns into a evaluation period of where are we at? What do we have to do in free agency? And then how do we make sure that we're prepared for the draft?
Yeah, if they lose this one, it's ice tank season. But to be clear, ice tank season only means that I'm cheering for them to lose games because they're not in a scenario where they can't, like, they're not going to say, "Oh, Dak, you're not playing. Oh, CD, you're not playing." Like they're gonna stumble drunk their way to some wins.
Oh no, they're gonna absolutely they're going to try and win games. That's
right.
And you can't ask them not to do. I know as commentators, as analysis guys, as fans, all that stuff. Yeah, you want the best picks possible.
Yeah.
But being in that chair for 13 years,
it
ain't gonna that they don't believe that.
Yeah, we also got to cheer against the Green Bay Packers, hope that their offense continues to be poo-poo, and see if we can't find a way for them to fall out of the playoffs. That'd be a lot of fun. And Brian, I got to tell you, I don't appreciate you bringing up the name of George Pickens. Look, if this team at the point of 3-5-1 decided not to get the most value they could for George Pickens, and they decide not to tag or extend George Pickens and just let him walk, your boy is going on a rant. Rant, I say.
That valuation is now about $30 million for that player.
Come on.
I'm okay with the tag. I'm okay. Listen, but we also have to be careful of when we argue the point of physical responsibility for your cap.
Come on. No, we're not going to do that, Brian. We're not going to fight about the cap
right
now.
No, I'm not going to say it.
I'm not going to fight with you right now. I'm not going to.
But I will say this: you will have a show. You will have a show where you will talk physical responsibility of or lack of the salary cap.
Yeah. It's time to it's time to reckless up the cap. That's what it's time to do. It's time to be one of the teams that gets reckless with it.
I just like to say, we just got to be consistent about that, though, too. We got to be consistent that if we're telling people, oh, no, that's irresponsible right there. And then the next moment we're like, no, we got to wreck the cap. I'm
a fan of the irresponsible. I praise the Philadelphia Eagles. They created an over half-decade window with the very intention of later on, it's going to be like
I am all for George Pickens, and I am all for. I was all for when we had discussions about, and I said this weeks ago. If you're not interested in signing him or tagging him, and they still might tag him and trade him, is what they might do.
Yeah, you can do that.
But if you were not interested in tagging him or signing him, you should have tried to trade him. And they didn't. They didn't. So they're telling me they're interested in tagging or signing him, which is a good thing.
Yeah, we like that. But you mentioned, the possibility of trying to find a replacement for him in the draft. And as a guy who's watched like 8 players, I'm here to tell you, I don't got time for a wide receiver in the first round at this moment, because all I'm doing is grabbing 2 dudes from the Ohio State defense and going to war, baby. That's my plan. I'm going to go, look, teams.
Which two are you going to grab? You're going to grab the safety and the linebacker, or are you going to grab the 2 linebackers? Which one are you going to go with?
So here's the way it's going to play out.
And are you playing the one guy at the linebacker? You play him at edge.
Here's the way it's going to play out, Brian. This is a way too early draft prediction. Arvell Reese is going to be a name that could very well go in the top 10. That's an Ohio State linebacker that also plays
very easily. He can
rush the hell out of the passer, and he's an awesome linebacker, and he's super young, right? So he's going to be like an incredible
20 years old, something like that.
You may not be able to have him.
Yeah.
Caleb Downs is a safety, and safeties don't generally go super high. especially if they're not like he's going to pick off 8 balls.
Don't look at him as a safety. I wouldn't look at him as a safety.
Caleb Downs is my first pick. We're taking him.
Mm-hmm.
And then my second first-round pick is Sonny Styles, the other linebacker at Ohio State that is freaking awesome.
That Packer pick would be pretty good for him. Yeah.
And now I'm cooking. I'm going to pick one of them in like 14, 12, and I'm going to pick one of them at probably like 26, 28. And then we're off and cooking. And then I have broken my own rule of drafting.
Sure you have.
Which is I have picked non-premium positions in the first round.
It sounds like you're breaking everything that you've ever argued about in your day.
And I'm drafting need. No, but I'm also drafting dudes that I think are absolutely incredible. Watching the Ohio State defense is super fun.
Yeah, Matt Patricia's done a really nice job with those guys.
They are going to win the national championship because they have it's not the 3 best, but it ain't far off from the 3 best defenders in college football are playing on the same damn defense.
Have you got to see Texas A&M play very much?
No.
Yeah, take a peek at those cats. This might be the year, and I'm usually very critical of Texas A&M because I always feel like they're going to lose that game. And hell, they still got Texas and Austin, but they look like a complete football team offensively and defensively. They look like a very complete football team. The quarterback's throwing the ball much better. Their receivers are outstanding. Their offensive line gets it done. Their defensive line really gets it done. They don't let you run the ball. Texas A&M will have a say in this one, I believe.
Texas A&M's going to score 3 points when they play Ohio State. That's what I've been seeing. But and I haven't watched them. I'm just
seriously. Hopefully you'll catch up on some A&M. Hopefully you'll catch up. But if you ever have a chance to peek at Texas A&M, I know I saw them firsthand against LSU, and I was thinking, okay, let's see what this is all about. It's legit. Texas legit.
I'm way
Indiana's a legit program too with their quarterback play they've got. This could be a good playoff this year.
Michael says in the super chat, if I'm Jerry, I'm sacrificing the future to make sure I see a Super Bowl in the next 3 to 5 years. Jones' kids have decades to win another after he's gone. I support you, Michael. I think that's the right play too. You have the
he might be thinking that right now too. And 3 to 5 years is asking a lot for a dude that's 82 years old too, by the way. You hope 83. Yeah, you better hope. Him and Will McClay, I think, share the same birthday. Yeah.
Mario's in the super chat. What's the possibility of Odigizua and Solomon Thomas playing at edge with Clark and Williams in the middle at times?
You're not going to have Solomon Thomas this week, by the way. You're not going to have the calf injury. You're not going to have him.
Oh,
he's not playing.
Well, that works out for you. It just makes it easier for what you're doing at defensive tackle. You just play a whole bunch of the 3 guys, and then I guess that means
no Solomon Thomas. That calf is not going to allow him to play. Yeah.
Hollywood's in the super chat. He said Mike Fisher found damn near $100 million salary cap in the Cowboys' pocket next spring. Well, that's not hard. Katie Drummond wrote an article about it. The Cowboys' salary cap stuff is very, 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 very easy. Dak will get restructured. CD will get restructured. That's $50 million. Terrence Steele won't be here. Trayvon Diggs won't be here. That's $30 million. Are you going to extend some of these guys and bring their numbers down? You're either going to extend or cut Kenny Clark, I would imagine, which is going to either bring that number down or eliminate that number. It's not hard for the Cowboys to find the monies that they need to get things done. I'm just telling you. Yeah. Jerome's in the chat. Does Hooker coming back really boost our safety play? Or are we going to be hindered by our safeties all season?
You are who you are. That's why we're talking about Caleb Downs right now. Stuff like that. You're going to have a hard time. You're going to have a hard time with Brock Bowers in this game. It's safety.
You wouldn't have a hard time with Brock Bowers if Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles was here. I'll tell you that.
But I'm just saying, one of the things you need to think about is your safety play, and it has not been. All 4 guys have not been where it needs to be. You need to be better at safety.
Did you go watch my guy Sonny?
Yeah.
You watch my guy Sonny? I don't like your reaction. Wasn't excited enough for having watched my guy. You don't like my guy. I like my guy. Do you?
I've watched about 20 guys. I mean, I'm excited about all these guys. I'm excited. Yeah, Sonny's a good player. Sonny's a good player. Sonny's a good player. Sonny covers some ground, man.
Dude, Sonny can run.
Yeah. I mean,
shed blocks, cover your tight end. Sonny's the dude. Yeah. I want Sonny Styles on the Dallas Cowboys. Ohio State linebacker, about 6'4",
They're both about the same height and weight. The two linebacker or the two guys that are the two top players there.
Yeah, they're clones. Arvell Reese is the other one, and Arvell Reese is the one who's going to get drafted higher, I would imagine, because he lines up on the edge a bunch, and boy, he's good at it. But when you just watch the fact that they got two guys that are 6'4", 240, that run like the wind, shed offensive linemen, take them on in the hole as tacklers because they're so giant and they're great athletes. Like they don't get guys to the ground; they swallow people.
Sonny Styles, Jeff, was recruited as a safety.
Yeah, he switched like 2 or 3 years ago.
2024.
Yeah, and but the amount that I like Sonny Styles is insane. I was listening to our buddy Dane Brugler with our buddy Dave Hellman, hearing them together on the Athletic Football Podcast. Building the Board is great. Getting those two back together. Because I just wanted to hear like his mid-seasons a few weeks ago, top 3 at each position. And at linebacker, I think he went Arvell Reese and then the Georgia CJ Allen and then Sonny Styles. And I'm watching him.
I would take Styles. So I would take Styles over Allen myself.
For me personally, it's going to be Reese, Styles, Allen. Like that's the way it'll be.
Yeah, those three.
And the safety Downs. Dude, he's awesome too.
Yeah,
I love Downs.
Yeah, I'm always in my life now trying to find. I spent a career trying to find the next Darren Woodson. Can never find him. Then I found a guy named Bryan Branch.
Yeah,
and then I started watching Bryan Branch play, and I'm thinking, that dude's not a safety. He's just a player. That dude's a defensive player, and I think that's what Downs is. I think Downs is very similar to covering the slot, play down, tackle, play with awareness, physical player. There's a lot you could do with him. I mean, you just watch the games. I mean, they do a great job with how they move him around and put him in positions. He can eliminate guys the way he plays. Tough kid too.
I'm watching Caleb Downs last night, and I think the first note I wrote after watching probably 15 or 20 plays, and I was like, I think this is the best compliment I could give a football player, but he makes the sport look really easy.
Yeah.
Like he's playing like against Texas, he starts off the game lined up as like a deep half. But then the next game I'm watching, he's really like a nickel, and then sometimes he's a rover where he's just, and it's like, what do you want me to do? You want the tight end erased? He's erased.
Yeah.
You want that running back erased? He's erased. You want me smashing in the run game? It's done.
Yeah.
Downs is awesome.
I remember watching him when he was a freshman at Alabama. This kid was incredible at Alabama. He was freshman All-American at Alabama. He led the team in tackles at Alabama. Think about all the great defensive players they've had at Alabama. This kid led the team in tackles.
Yeah.
He big part of their championship team last year. Every time we were watching all those down linemen, and every time this guy kept showing up, this guy, like, who is this guy? It was one of those moments where you're watching tape and you're going, you're supposed to be watching the edge, but you're watching this number 2 run around and make every single play.
And Brian, you nailed it. Somebody in the chat asked, is he a strong or a free? And here's the thing. We want to define everybody. Like Ohio State has 2 guys that are going to be in this draft class that you don't have to. And if you're the defensive coordinator and you say he's playing the down safety spot, or Arvell Reese, he's playing linebacker, like I think you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
The answer is, if you draft Arvell Reese, he's one of my starting linebackers. He's going to play mugged up and rush. He's going to rush off the edge. He's going to do all of that. And,
there you go.
And if I have Caleb Downs on my team, he's one of my starting safeties. He might line up in the nickel. When we get to third down, he may go man up the tight end.
Yeah.
He's going to do all sorts of stuff. And to waste the ability to do all of those things, I think just makes you wrong.
Don't put this kid in a box. Don't put any of those Ohio State kids in the box.
I love what you did. He is Bryan Branch. Like you watch Bryan Branch.
That's what but I watched Bryan Branch play at Alabama, and I thought when this kid went to Alabama initially, I thought they'd found Bryan Branch. I thought that's what they did. And I'm just telling you, man, don't pigeonhole these players. Just say, wow, this kid, because I watched a kid, Mekhi Lemon, the wide receiver from USC. and he's a slot player, but he could play outside. But man, you could do so much with him. These kids, college coaches are getting better at putting these kids in like, whoa, wait, he could do this, he could do this, he could do this. Don't look at these players. You get these guys on your team, you're gonna love them because they do a lot of things.
Yeah. And I'm a big fan of the just when it screams at you while you watch somebody that like that dude's football IQ is
that's Downs. It's Downs and it's also Styles. I mean, you watch these guys and the way they play. And Styles is like lining up everybody. I mean, and I say it's like, oh, it's kind of that's like a scouting. Oh, he can line everybody up. No, you watch him communicate throughout the thing. I mean, he's telling you, okay, he's pointing everything out. You know, I mean, I'm watching him communicate, and I'm thinking, all right, that's, you know, and listen, Matt Patricia, that's a pro style defense they're playing.
Might need to hire him, draft his kids, and bring him in.
I'll tell you though, Matt Patricia, he'd be smart just to stay at Ohio State and just keep coaching, man. Just keep coaching. Yeah. Chip Kelly left Ohio State to go to the Raiders, and they're god awful. At Ohio State, he's got better players.
Yeah. And he's got I do think Ohio State is the new, like they're the new Georgia. Philly went on a little bit of a run there where like their first round picks and some of their other early picks, it was like, why don't we just pick the best players off the best team's defense, and that'll probably work out.
They better find a way to beat Michigan this year though. God dang.
Who's that?
Ohio State.
Oh, don't worry about my guys. Look, as a guy who's very skewed by the recent watching of their three players, I'm like, nah, ain't nobody scoring on these dudes. No, you're not scoring points against Ohio State.
Watch Texas A&M though. I'm telling you, man.
Come on and get some. I'd like it was the very first play against Texas I was watching because I had watched.
Oh yeah.
I watched Caleb Downs against. I don't remember what the first game was. I can check the notes.
There's Texas and Penn State Penn State's a good game too.
So I watched Penn State. That was the first one I watched, and then I turned on the Texas one, and it just makes me absurdly happy when a college kid. I'm watching the quarterback on the very first play, and he's hot. And the way he's read the defense, he's like, I know where I'm going. And he gets ready to go there. And Arch goes, oh, shit. Nope. Caleb Downs knows where I'm going, and it ain't happening. And he's like, let's move on and do something else. I love a good, smart football player that knows what you're trying to do.
They are, like we keep saying, they're well coached. They got a pro scheme. I mean, these kids are ready to play. When they come out of Ohio State, they're ready to play.
Drono said, I watched OSU versus Penn State and Downs didn't pop to me. So to me, that's the beauty of watching the tape. Like I watch college football throughout the year, and there will be lots of guys that when you go and you watch them every play, it's entirely different than if you just watched the game and it's like, well, I don't remember a pick six or a sack or whatever. And it's like, that dude's everywhere. He's lining up everywhere. You're not allowed to throw where he is.
Sure.
He's making tackles where you're like, who was the blur that came in off of this screen? Yeah. It's different when you start watching one.
Oh, no, it is. Hey, I appreciate him watching the games, man. I never, ever, ever have a problem with anybody that will have an opinion as long as they've told me they've watched the games. And there's a lot of ways to do it nowadays, folks. You don't have to sit there and just guess at it. You could honestly, the great time machine is this YouTube thing. If you can't get film, or you can't get, people are doing some really seriously good work on YouTube trying to help fans with actual, like, really quality TV copy stuff cut up the right way and all that.
Right.
There's no excuse for trying to. There's a lot of groups that are doing this Patreon stuff too that have tape and things, man. Figure it out. You can do it.
Also, make sure you're subscribed to Crown Global Media on
Thank
YouTube.
you. Appreciate that.
Not subscribed to Crown Global Media on YouTube. You're not supporting Bryan Broaddus the best that you could, which makes you not the hot dog, but the bun.
Now this is a hot dog bun.
I think it's a hot dog, too.
And you want to be
that, Jeffrey.
Yeah, you want to be the hot dog. You know, that's what you want to be. You want to be the hot dog. Also, use the code TAPE when you sign up on the Underdog Fantasy app.
Underdog that thing up.
Go start making your picks. You know what I'm saying? I think that guy's going to have more than that many passing yards. I think that guy's going to have less than that many rushing yards, and then count your money because you're a smart football man and you got it right. They also have all the different sports. I don't know if this is going to count as a read because I don't have
it,
and I'm not sure exactly what the offer is, but use the code TAPE. It'll be great. And as long as they're a good company with a sense of humor, they'll appreciate the way that I promoted it today.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they got a sense of humor. To sponsor you and I, they have to have a sense of humor.
That's right. Bryan, have yourself a great day. I appreciate you. We'll press the tape again next Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll talk about hopefully Cowboy victory against the Raiders on Tuesday or Monday night.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Make sure you have yourself a wonderful day.